Everybody, and welcome to the season finale of the Oneonta movie show. It's been a wild ride, so let's finish the season off strong. Today we've got a superhero themed show. We'll be talking about the trailers for X-Men Dark Phoenix and Brightburn. After that, we'll wrap the show up by talking about Avengers Endgame. Let's get this show on the roll, shall we? Play the intro. Okay, welcome back everyone. Before we begin, what have you guys watched since last time? Anyone have anything they feel strongly to talk about?
I guess on Netflix I found Zodiac, which I guess kind of ties into the whole...
Zodiac?
Yeah, it's with Mark Ruffalo and
okay.
Robert Downey Jr.
That's
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, that's the one I thought you were
So
talking
I guess
about.
tying into the whole...
It's Fincher, right?
Yeah. I liked it more than like most of his movies. It was pretty solid. It was a little...
Is that 3 hours long?
No, it's like 2.5.
It's too long.
It is
I
long.
remember watching it with Vinny, and that movie is too long. It's
But
too
again, like
long.
I saw like right after Endgame, I was like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo. I'll check it out. Yeah, like they're both in it, and like the story's interesting. Like, yeah.
Yeah, right? That's
I forgot.
Yeah, they're both in it, and like the story's interesting enough, and like Robert Downey Jr. kind of has like his Tony Stark persona, even like before,
Yeah, he kinda does, yeah,
even
I
before
remember.
Tony Stark, he has it. But you know, it was like interesting. Like I think like 3 episodes ago we were talking about like murders and like I'm not interested in any of that stuff, but like to see like kind of like the detective and like the reporting side of it was a little more interesting for me.
Is Jake Gyllenhaal? Is that one movie he's in?
He's a
Prisoners.
Prisoners is great.
He blinks so much in that
Yeah,
movie.
Prisoners is so good. Prisoners is great.
Okay,
I
that's
like,
not
I like
public,
Zodiac. Cynthia.
So, y'all, it's been a crazy week, and I haven't been able to watch much, but I have been watching a lot of Great British Baking Show
Okay.
Masterclass, so that's good. I like baking and food.
You learn anything?
Did I learn?
Take the techniques?
Yes, I learned how to make a proper Swiss roll. Yeah, exactly.
Little Debbie one? That's good.
Well, I could make a big one, so I mean, I
okay,
feel like
okay.
that's better, you know,
Yeah,
like a
fair
big
enough,
one.
Fair enough.
I like the process. Give me the chemicals.
Oh, not the Oneonta health show, but yeah.
No. I mean, it's a Swiss roll. How weak can it be? Like the healthiest one is like.
I
Is it
don't
all
know.
right?
They have jelly in
it's
them
like 15%.
sometimes.
Jelly's not good for you.
If it doesn't have sugar in it, it
It's
is.
got sugar
does,
in
it does.
Yeah. You can't buy it.
You make it.
You make the jelly too?
Yeah.
From where? Like. the
All you have
jelly
to do
fruit?
was
The jelly.
all you have to do is like mash up fruit and like put it
The
in
fruit
a
got chemicals in
like
it.
boil.
The fruit's got an eye. Human growth hormones. Ron?
I saw Dune.
Dune?
Yeah.
That David
Oh, the
Lynch
Lynch one,
class?
the old one, yeah.
Oh my
Everyone's
goodness.
favorite?
Yeah, that movie was.
Why'd you watch it?
I don't know. It was on.
No one's like, yo.
Well, they're doing the remake.
What do you mean? Where's it on?
It was on Prime, and
Oh, okay.
it was like suggested Dune, and I was like,
Well, when you're on, it's like you flip towards it. Like you chose to
fair
watch
enough,
Dune.
fair enough. But they just suggested it, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. But
They're doing the remake with like a million people, like Timothy Chalamet and like.
yeah, but
with, like, a
the
million
problem with
people.
Dune is it's one of those books.
It's 1,000
I'm just not.
pages.
I'm never gonna read it.
Yeah,
and
it's like it.
that movie was bad, and yeah.
I'm a classic Dune reader, as in that like it was a gift, and I've tried to read it like probably 3 times, and so
can't get
I've
through.
kept on reading
Fair
probably the
enough.
same 100 pages over and over again. But maybe I should just watch the movie because.
I don't hate the David Lynch movie. Yeah, I could see people like like I think it came out like right like after Star Wars, like maybe like
It was bad.
and like I could see people like
Sting was in it.
yeah, like Sting
was
I
in
guess
it?
Sting's in it.
Sting's the villain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just crazy. And then Kyle
That is
MacLachlan,
funny.
I didn't hate.
He's
I think
Jesus
I
in
found
it,
it
basically. He's basic. And his name's
What?
Paul.
His
He's
name's
like
Paul?
he's like the main character, the savior of Dune, and,
Yeah.
and they're like, Paul, help us.
But
And I'm
That's
like,
hilarious.
I'm like, how can you name
It's
a
about
character
like
Paul?
space salt or it's like
Spice.
It's like
Spice,
space
it's
spice.
spice.
Who
Come on,
controls
spice.
spices controls the galaxy.
Yeah.
They say that in
Yeah.
the first 100 pages. So I know,
so
I know
funny.
that.
Well, they don't stop saying that.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
But I mean, the design was cool. There's cool suits and cool whatever, but it's Lynch, so it's gross.
Oh, it's. All right, time to move on. First trailer we'll be talking about is for X-Men Dark Phoenix. What did you guys think about the trailer?
He's already shaking
Jacob,
his head.
you are a superhero
Oh
man.
God, I am like not excited for this.
Really?
I love
I have a
X-Men.
question.
What?
Yes.
And I love Days of Future Past, and that's kind of it. and Logan is great. And I thought they should have just ended it at Logan. But they're like, you know what? We're going to remake 3, because this is a remake of X-Men 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I've heard that there's been so many reshoots and so many actors leaving and coming on that I like the word around town is that like this is not going to be good, and like it looks awful, and like I'm not excited for any of this. And like I don't like I like Michael Fassbender, but like other than that, I don't like any of the other cast members. And
Come
like
on.
Apocalypse.
You don't like McAvoy?
McAvoy's
James
good.
McAvoy,
I
come on.
want
good.
him.
McAvoy's
Curve that bullet.
Yeah, he like curved the bullet. No, I like Apocalypse wasn't good,
I didn't see
and
Apocalypse.
First Class was okay. And like Days of Future Past, they just made it into a like.
Oh, yeah, First Class was good.
And Days of Future Past, they just made it into a Wolverine movie, and like so like. I think they should have just killed it after Logan, but they're like, we got to do one more ride for whatever reason. Even though in Logan,
This is the last time they have the rights.
even though in
right?
Logan they said that like Xavier killed all of them, but whatever.
All right, Cynthia, then Ron.
I'm excited for it.
The big X-Man.
Yeah, I do. I like them.
I like the old.
Yeah.
I also am very excited to see Sansa Stark in something else. So
Well, she was in Apocalypse.
Who's that?
she was.
Yeah, she was
She's
in
from
Oh,
Game
I
of
didn't
Thrones.
see
Yeah,
that.
she was in
She's
Apocalypse. Yeah.
Wow.
Jean Grey.
Now I feel like an idiot.
Yeah,
so
she was
that's
the
fine.
Dark Phoenix in Apocalypse, and even I was like, they just did this like 5 years ago, but they're doing it again.
It's Ron, you had a question?
I do have a question. So the way the trailer is presented, she becomes evil because of magic space radiation or something?
No.
I mean, it's
Isn't
like
that how everybody becomes?
No,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean-
she's like a meaner / more advanced version of Xavier.
Okay. Well, I know
And then,
that.
and then she's like, she's becoming too powerful.
Yeah, I get
mean-
that part, but then like at the beginning of the trailer, she like sucks up all this radiation.
No, I think
and
they're
that's
like
when it
saving,
starts becoming.
like in space. I think they're like saving like space.
the same in the
Okay,
space
it was
crew.
I think
and
they're
then,
saving
like,
a
It was
space
just
crew.
confusing.
Then the
I didn't
Phoenix-
understand what.
Just guess what? That's what the movie's gonna be like.
I know. That's what turned me away because I was like, I don't know what's going on. Is she evil because of space radiation?
Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot of like, especially X-Men. Like it was clear cut back in the day. It was like
Yeah,
X-Men.
I like the old 2000s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
it
the
was
old
good.
2000 ones are pretty clear cut. Like it's just mutations. Now it's like a space rock blew up, and now she's
now she's
might
evil
be
or
evil.
so- or
Yeah.
something.
I'm
Yeah.
getting this wrong because this is like the X-Men story.
It is,
Like,
yeah.
the Dark
yeah.
Phoenix saga is like the movie.
But
there's never
again,
been a good
they
one
did,
yet.
They did Dark Phoenix
Yeah.
like 10 years ago.
And it was bad?
And it was awful.
Yeah.
And like I don't see this one like, oh, that one blew me. Like after Logan, which is amazing, they should have just ended it. Like
true,
Logan
that's
was
true.
such a great like movie. They say multiple times the X-Men are dead, everyone's dead, just leave it. Like they said that. Like that was the theme of the movie, death. And they're like, you know what, we're bringing it back.
When does Marvel get the rights back?
I think,
They-
like,
they have
after this,
Okay.
Marvel's like got it. Yeah.
So who's even at like
No one
Fox?
cares,
Yeah, no one's
yeah.
like, we'll just put this out. We'll put out the other movie with what is it?
What is it?
I don't even know what the other one's called. The one that's like a horror movie.
Right? Isn't that what
No,
we're
no.
talking about?
No.
Oh, the New Mutants.
New Mutants,
They-
yeah, yeah,
New
yeah.
Mutants is like they don't know
Oh,
what
yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing. Same with New Mutants. They're like, oh yeah, we reshot it, and then they just put it on a shelf. They don't know when they're gonna release it.
I think
They
this.
said they were supposed to release it like last October, but then they didn't.
I
So
think Cynthia pointed. The first class was. I kind of like
No,
the
First Class
first when
wasn't
they
bad, yeah.
rebrought
yeah,
like the old '60s, but then the timeline's weird. I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening anymore.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
again, that's why Logan was great because everyone was dead, and they said everyone's dead, leave
It,
it.
it kept it simple. This is
Yeah.
complicated.
That's
It's just,
true. Yeah, it's completely convoluted.
Exactly.
It's like when a
exactly.
comic goes on for 80 years,
Yeah.
then they bring everyone back.
but they've only done it for 5 years. That they've
I
messed.
know.
They've,
I know.
they've
I
messed
know.
it up
I
so
know.
bad.
I know.
But it's ending.
X-Men's those kind of movies that kind of go in the background that I feel
What?
like no one
Yeah.
cares about.
Yeah.
But
and
it
then-
used to be
yeah.
the
but then-
opposite.
yeah, but
like no one
I
knew
know.
who the Avengers were before. So now
Yeah.
it's the complete opposite.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And now everyone cares about the Avengers and X-Men. It's like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right, it's time for a quick commercial break. Stick around.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And we're back with our second trailer, Brightburn, which comes out this week. This film is our dark spin on the classic origin story of Superman. This will be the first film in the new genre of superheroes horror films. Tell me what you guys thought about the trailer.
It comes out this week.
Yeah,
No,
what?
I think the trailer came out this week.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not the
I
movie.
read it as the movie came out this week.
I was gonna say, wow.
Yeah, I think everyone needs a break from superhero movies for a bit.
What came out this week?
All right,
Fair enough.
Ron, what do you think of this?
Why is he evil?
Because
Is it because of his
I think that's the
upbringing?
joke.
Is it the family?
The joke is if Superman comes back, what if he was evil?
I know, but like, why?
I don't know.
Why is he like a
he's just
sociopath?
the Omen, but Superman. He's just
Just
inherently
'cause
evil.
He's born with a.
He's born
his name's
with-
Damien.
Yeah, probably.
Oh my god.
No, his name's like Dom L or something.
I remember the Omen 3. I think Davey becomes like
yes,
the
the Omen
president.
3. What?
He becomes like the president or something. Yeah. He becomes like
Have you
the
seen all
president.
the
Yeah. No. He becomes like the president. Then like they're like, oh my god, the DNA doesn't match up with a human's DNA. Then like an elevator.
We've
falls
elected
into-
the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. But no, this movie seems weird.
I think, like,
To say the least.
Why is he evil? I think it's just because this movie only exists in the context that you know what Superman is.
Yeah.
So
So they just went, yeah, he's evil.
you know what you know what a Superman is. You know Clark Kent's supposed to be the all-American boy. So what if he was bad?
I like the scene where he sticks his hand in the lawnmower.
Yeah.
When he
And
stops.
I'm
That
just-
wasn't even that scary.
No, I know, but I was just like, man, what if he wasn't Superman? Like, what if he thought, and then
Yeah, what the what,
He just takes his head out.
what,
I'm like, wow, that movie would change.
what's the tension in that scene though? Because
'Cause we
like, are
know.
you afraid for the lawnmower or Brightburn? Because the lawnmower is a lawnmower, so who cares? And Brightburn, you know he's Brightburn, so what? Like, oh my God, the lawnmower stopped. Poor lawnmower.
Well, first of all, it's not James Gunn directing it. It's just like him producing it. But like the director is
so
just
his
always
name's
shaking
just
people.
slapped on
the
it?
director
Yeah,
is
right?
He was in the room for 2 days.
yeah.
and go,
The
"It's
director
James
is like a
Gunn's."
no name, but it's like from the mind of James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn said, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah. Second of all, I don't mind. Like I'm not like like I'm on board, whatever. But there's a Superman comic called Superman Red Sun.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's where he lands in Soviet Russia
Yeah.
instead
Oh,
of
yeah, I've heard of
Serbia.
it.
I've
Yeah,
heard of
yeah,
it.
and it's like
very
he's
good.
like becomes like war propaganda. It's
Yeah.
great. I wish they did that. instead
That
of
would be
this.
interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Cynthia, do you think it looks scary?
Nah.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a horror movie.
They
What,
did
you
that.
thought it was supposed to be like a normal
What
superhero
about that
movie or
scene when she
something?
Well,
pulls
not
the glass
mo-
off?
The
like,
yeah, her like
It
holding
kind
the-
of had like a similar feel to me to that movie Super 8.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I can see.
Kinda
To be
like
fair
that.
though, Man of Steel was pretty scary for a Superman movie.
That's true.
He kills a lot of
We
people,
already,
so
we already have a horror Superman.
yeah, like Man of
Just real
Steel, Batman vs
Superman.
Superman. Superman's pretty scary enough. Like he kills a bunch of people and destroys half the city, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah,
Superman kills people? Is that like a...
in Man of Steel, he
He
like
kills-
not like
Oh,
directly,
okay.
but like
He destroys
okay,
the
okay,
city,
okay.
and
I
he
gotcha,
kills
I gotcha.
Zod. He snaps his neck.
yeah, he
Just-
snaps
he's
his
got to.
neck and like flies through multiple city buildings. Like
The movie was too long ago.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
really long.
fair enough.
I didn't see it.
You don't need to see it. It exists.
Yeah.
Jacob, since you're the horror, or I guess the superhero,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of, like, because we have New Mutants and stuff, now we have superhero movies, like, being horror movies? What do you think of that?
I don't know. I just wish that they'd go a little bit weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Like again, like I think they're kind of like putting their foot in the water of weirdness. It's like Marvel and DC. Like Shazam was kind of weird, and like Thor Ragnarok was kind of weird, but it's not there yet.
Not all the way weird. It's not comic book weird
It's
yet.
not comic book weird, and I want it to get there because I think I'm kind of tired of like the
standard.
good and bad conversation.
Yeah.
I want like
Beta
I want
Ray
like
Bill.
Planet Hulk or something,
Yes.
or I want like
Which they
again like
allude to- or Beta Ray. I want to see Thor's best friend, Beta Ray Bill, who's
Yeah,
a space
or
horse
like-
android.
even like Superman Red Sun, yeah, even like Superman Red Sun, like I brought up something before, like take it like do like a whole like 180, like
I think- yeah.
I don't like this discussion like good or bad.
Yeah.
What does it mean
Oh,
in
yeah, they-
modern day?
Superman Red Sun is interesting because there was like. They just like the first chapter was
And
like, oh, what if
Yeah,
Superman?
and I think
instead of
I think in that
American
movie like
propaganda-
Batman becomes like an anarchist and like
Yeah.
he like destroys museums with like Superman stuff in it, and it's like really interesting and like
But they evolved the idea of like,
Yeah.
what if Superman was the ideal version
Exactly.
of communism
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
like
yeah.
America?
Yeah.
Do you think those won't appeal to general audiences though? Because they released that movie where Batman and Joker go to Ninja Japan.
Right.
And that movie was
But that
like.
was just the
I think if
animated
you-
I know, but
yeah.
I feel like they're doing the animated because they know that like
Yeah,
I think
No-
if you
no
work
one's
it,
gonna
I think
see
if you
that.
work it correctly, I mean, like Guardians is weird enough. You
I
know,
mean, Aquaman
like,
made $1 billion.
yeah, like
I think we're
out
past
of
the
all the
point.
DC
Okay,
movies,
okay,
how did
okay.
Aquaman make more than Superman?
Yeah,
Like,
Aquaman has like
What?
grossed more than like
People are tired
the
of
Dark
Superman.
Knight
Yeah.
Rises and stuff. I think people are ready for weird.
yeah,
Okay.
I
I
think
think-
like Guardians of the Galaxy is weird enough. I
Yeah.
think just go a little bit farther than Guardians. I think
Shit,
you're
two
good.
is-
Yeah, I like Guardians.
And
Two-
this,
two?
I like
You
both
like
of them.
two?
Yeah, I
like
like both of them.
Superman Red Sun, it goes deeper into the idea. And I feel like Brightburn, it's very surface level.
Yeah,
where it's
I mean, we don't know
Superman,
yet, yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
But he's good.
That's true.
He's a kid. We can't really. That's the other conversation. It's like, is he a kid? Can we like?
I
you
just know, what is that? What's the
Elizabeth, Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just know
yeah.
already I hate that character. Which is, we gotta give him a chance. Like, no,
Yeah,
he killed that lawnmower. You can't let him move on.
How's that movie gonna end though?
Well, he kills everyone.
He kills everyone.
Yeah, and-
good.
or
Are they-
the
are they-
mom finally realizes.
They're gonna like lock him in a box or something.
He
Oh, the
kills
lead
the
ball.
mom.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Oh, all right. We have to go to another commercial break. Stay tuned.
Danse, balance, suis la cadence, ondule bien tes hanches au bal du dimanche. Danse, que la fête commence, dans ma belle robe blanche, je suis ton chou, ton
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Find yours at bedsider.org.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. This week's Avengers Endgame was released this week. This film is the capstone of 10 years of Marvel films. The first half of our review will be spoiler-free. We'll warn you before we get into spoiler content. There will be a timestamp in the description of this video for when you should skip to. In order to avoid spoilers. Oh, wow. That was a fragmented sentence. All right, let's get into our spoiler-free discussion. So this is just very general opinions. Ron, we'll start with you.
Oh,
We'll go around clockwise.
when the movie ended and the lights went up, there were like 8-year-olds there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "This movie's not for me." I was like, "What do you know about these?"
It's not because like when we said like if viewers remember our Pet Cemetery discussion when there was a 5-year-old at this
Oh,
showing,
yes.
but this was just like these movies. How do you were?
I was-
How have you seen?
I was 7
Yeah,
when the
like-
first one came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're 8,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what do you think of this? You don't know nothing
Yeah,
that's
you,
going
you
on.
come into consciousness at the end, and you're just like, "Oh, okay."
Well, did you like it or you know?
Oh, yeah, it was alright.
Cynthia,
Oh, I didn't see it.
Wow.
the
you're
one
person
person
on the
in
earth.
the earth, yeah, in America.
I really had a really
That's all right.
busy
It was
weekend.
like-
It was kind of hard to find times
No,
to be
it's
It
fair.
was hard to find tickets because most times we're sold out. Like,
Yeah.
constantly.
I went with 4 of my friends. We all had to split up in the theater because there
I
wasn't
had to do
enough
that for
seats.
Infinity
Yeah,
War.
we all had to split up.
We managed to sit together.
Yeah, we
but-
said but we were there for like 30 minutes earlier,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
the worst experience ever.
Ours started at 8, got there at 7:30, had to split up.
yeah.
Fair enough.
But
Jacob,
yeah. So again, seeing all of them, whatever. Yeah, it didn't all work. When you try and over-explain a certain plot element and then don't explain it enough at the same time.
yeah.
But at the same time, that plot element isn't a real thing. And I try not to question movies about Iron Man and Captain America, but I think overall, like the thematics and like the little character moments kind of made up for. I think the sum instead of like the sum of its parts. I think like the little tiny moments
Yeah.
were the best parts in the movie. And again, a lot of it was fan service, but I liked how almost all 21 movies were either referenced, brought up, like this even like little dialogue was like, oh, I remember from that movie. Even like Thor 2. There's like a big part of this movie that's about Thor 2.
yeah, Thor 2 is the most important Thor movie.
And like what? And like they made me sort of care about Thor 2. I haven't seen that movie since the theaters
Yeah.
and like whatever. And like, but even movies from like, Doctor Strange, they'll bring up Winter Soldier, like lines of dialogue, which I really liked. Again, not all of it added up, and like some stupid things, like the rat is a meme now because like the rat
rat.
woke up Ant-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What
So,
is the meme with that?
but I think overall, by the end of it, especially the last few scenes, I was like, good. Let's just good ending, good book. I think I'm done with superhero movies for a while.
They'll revive it 6 months later.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was surprised by Infinity War a lot of how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably like top 3
Yeah.
Marvel movies. And then because they kind of went in such a weird direction.
This movie's such it's not as cohesive as Infinity War.
No,
Yeah.
and
That's for
and
sure.
I was just like, I was pretty disappointed that like I didn't even read that much theories or stuff like that. It just happened to me, and I felt like yeah, everyone was right. Basically, what they said. It was very like this happened. This is how this ended, and this is how that ended. And I was just like, oh.
Well, again,
okay.
that big death, they hinted at from very early on in the franchise, and for me, I was like, that makes sense. Like I wasn't like sad
everything just
over
made
it.
sense.
It made sense to me. I was like, good, that happened. Let's just end it. Like,
and in that sense, why I just go, all right.
Yeah.
I understand you have to close it, so let's just do kind of a standard thing. But it's still, I understand why they went standard, but it still felt standard.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to our spoiler talk. A timestamp. Put it right here. 5. You'll get 5 seconds to get out. Cynthia, do you want to leave? Do you want to see this? Because we're gonna be spoiling everything.
I have 2 theories, and I want to see if they're right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I guess I'll stay. Whatever.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fat Thor.
Yeah, Fat Thor was great. Well, yeah.
Thor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thor's
Oh,
fat.
yeah, yeah,
And
he's
he was
fat.
drinking a Naturday. And,
He's fat the whole movie.
The whole movie.
I like that.
I hated it.
No, it made it made sense because again, lost his mother, lost his father, lost his planet, lost half of his people. Yeah. So after that, I was like, when does he have time to work out? Like he doesn't.
He's Thor, but that's. Well,
He's so beautiful. He's probably still
I
beautiful.
like Fat
It's
Thor.
fine.
I didn't
Yeah,
mind it.
Nah, he's got like
No,
dreads.
he dresses like the Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he has like sunglasses and sweaters on.
I like
and he's
that.
like has like fingerless gloves, and he always has like a Budweiser in his hand.
I gotta be honest, I still don't care. He's still beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't mind that because again, after all of his
Nah,
movies, I realized that in all of his movies and everything that he's done in all the movies, he's failed horribly at.
Yeah.
So it's like at this point, he's like, oh, just get fat. Like,
Yes. No, it makes sense. But then you have the end where he's fighting
he's still
Thanos.
fat.
He's still fat in like the Thor suit.
That's hilarious.
No, what okay, so I guess back to, I can dive a little deeper. What I did like, one of my favorite scenes, wasn't even an action scene, because like the last 10 minutes, while fun is crazy, the scene when Tony and Cap go back into the 70s, and Tony kind of like reconciles with his father, like in his own way. I like that the most, because again, they've been referencing that since like way early on.
Yeah, I think I like the.
And he was like, oh, like, and the dad was like, oh, like, I'll do anything for my kid, and like, he hasn't even been born yet. So, like, in Tony's own way, he was kind of like, oh, cool, like, I can like reconcile.
I like how they circled back that Howard Stark just left a video for Tony
Yeah,
Stark
yeah.
and then Tony Stark dies.
And I just those.
and he leaves a hologram for his child, so it's like a nice little.
So him and
circle.
that Thor and his mom was nice, and what else we got? I mean,
Natalie
again,
Portman showed up for 3
for
seconds.
5 seconds,
Yeah, shout out.
to stab her.
I've seen Thor once.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about like just every actor shows up for 5
I
seconds?
like that.
Yes,
'cause
Michael Douglas is asleep on set.
Captain Marvel.
Robert Redford showed
Yeah,
up. Again, similar to like a comic, when there's like a bigger event,
Yeah.
everyone will show up.
Yeah.
And at the funeral,
And
Tony Stark's death.
They're just in a panel.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Just-
some of the people there shouldn't have been
Tony
there.
Stark, no, Tony Stark's death. Like, yeah, like Guardians didn't need to be there, but like even the kid from Iron Man 3 showed
Oh,
up.
that's who that
is.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, I wondered.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's who that kid is. So like they do that a lot. When
Isn't
Logan,
it
like in a
parents?
comic, when Spider-Man dies or Logan dies, everyone shows up.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. And again, like with time travel, yeah, it's a little confusing. It's like if you go back, you won't exist in this time, but if you go here,
Yeah, I don't know. They
don't
didn't-
explain
yeah.
it. Like I don't
But they
like.
did, and it's
but they
still-
did.
yeah.
But I think again, I try not to question a movie where like Hulk is like. Amazing.
Wearing a sweater.
Yeah,
doing
wearing a
science.
sweater. Yeah, so that was like whatever. Like the time travel stuff didn't work, and like maybe like going back to like the Black Widow stuff with Hawkeye. Like I wasn't a fan
Poor
of that
Black
scene.
Widow. She gets,
Yeah,
she
but
gets,
like I never
no
liked
one
the
cares when she
character.
dies.
No,
Like,
I never liked
She
her.
died?
She dies.
Oh.
And they don't even bring it up. They just go, everyone's like, man, Tony's dead.
Oh yeah, they never did a funeral.
Yeah,
for her.
she didn't have a funeral scene. And Hawkeye just goes, man, that was my friend.
Yeah. But again,
Yeah.
like even Cap picking up, people are like, yeah, Cap picking up the hammer, awesome. And while that was good, they hinted at it in Ultron. So like in Ultron, they're all trying to like
Oh yeah, that he lifts,
jokingly
yeah,
pick
yeah.
up the hammer,
And
and like Cap like slightly does it. And then,
Why? I have a question
Yeah.
about that. I don't understand the logistics. Why is it that he can pick up the hammer?
it's
he's
like
worthy.
he's worthy. So I think
But like, what made him worthy
Okay,
then?
so I think like it's because he kind of brought the whole Avengers back together and like saved everyone.
Well, I think he's always
basically.
been worthy. It's
He's-
just-
I think he's always
he just
because
didn't
again
he didn't believe
yeah.
he could lift
in
the hammer
Ultron,
before.
like he like slightly does it. And
Yeah.
It was like what, and then
Yeah.
he like doesn't lift it up. So I like that.
He's joking. He's faking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. And the last scene for me, when he's dancing with Peggy,
That was good.
kind of encapsulated superheroes in general for me, where I was like, I realized something, that none of these superheroes wanted to be superheroes in the first place.
Well, that's what makes them superheroes.
I was like, they all want to be.
Some of them did.
They all want.
Yeah.
Some of them do, but like,
Ant-Man.
yeah, Ant-Man's like the only one. But like,
he's just having fun.
like Cap, like kind of always wanted like this normal life, and like he finally
That's
gets
true.
it.
Yeah.
And like the song they're listening to was from the Winter Soldier, so it kind of
Well, I
like.
totally picked up on that.
Yeah, it brought it all back together in a nice, and I liked how they went back to the other movies. It was fun, and like some clever stuff, like when he gets in the elevator, he's just like Hail Hydra,
Yeah,
and then he
it's
sinks
like, oh, yeah, I
out.
like that, I like
Well,
that.
a lot of like again, like not the whole plot doesn't work, but the minor like smart little things
Yeah.
they do works.
I say what doesn't work. They ruined Thanos. Thanos is bad. in
Yeah,
this movie.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Thanos-
yes.
I think to kind of like go like Infinity War was Thanos' movie.
Yeah, he's an interesting character
Yeah, but
study.
at the same time, it's like, okay, this is more on the Avenger side, but it's like it's not our Thanos. It's
Yeah,
like the past Thanos.
Thanos has no idea who these people are.
Yeah,
And he's
like
so,
Thanos is like hip to it. He's like, I accomplished it, but I better just do it again. Like,
And he's like, there was like a line in the movie where it's like, it's personal. I was like, "Bah, you don't know
he's like,
anyone.
it's
You've known these
inevitable."
people for 5 minutes.
yeah, he's like, I'm doing this.
He's
He's like,
always
yeah.
thought Thor was
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no time where he thought Thor was
Doesn't
fat.
he literally say to Scarlet Witch, he's like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But I'm going to fight you anyways,
Yeah,
I
He's like,
guess.
I'm just here to get the stones.
Yeah, like again, like that wasn't the Thanos we grew up with. Like, it was a different one.
I want to say, I pointed this out. How convenient for Hulk to put the glove on so it's big enough for Thanos
Yeah,
to
because
put it on?
what if Iron Man or Thor put it
Well,
on?
again, that was the whole
glove
point of
would be big
Infinity War. They needed to like weld it with the with like the star.
Yeah.
And this one,
The-
Tony
the
Stark's like,
dwarves.
He's
this
just
one,
like-
Tony
he's just
Stark's
like
like built it.
nanomachine.
enough.
Yeah.
Also, the ancient Asgardian dwarves from Norse myth had to all die to make this glove, but
Yeah.
Sony, he just did it in an afternoon.
Yeah. Again, I think
Dinklage.
I think again like that's not the important part. I think the important part is that it's built. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
like
yeah.
All right, yeah.
if you start questioning like, oh, they built it, the time travel, it doesn't work. It's
Yeah.
like you get a little too like crazy about that. It doesn't like.
This movie definitely just felt like, it's over. Are you happy?
Yeah, yeah.
Not
they
sweating the
did, they did.
details.
And it's like people are like I cried at Tony Stark's death. It's like if you watch the first Iron Man, he was like I should have been dead. Like he said
Yeah.
it, he says that multiple times in like all the movies. He's like I should be dead. Like I
don't
want
know.
to die.
It was the last. I didn't get that most emotional.
No, neither
The Peggy
did no.
Carter stuff I did just because that's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Definitely.
But the Iron, I don't know that.
The Iron Man stuff, I was like good.
And when
Let's just-
people came back, it was such a mess. When everyone just came back, and everyone, it just like because I'm here, you know,
Yeah.
Black Panther's here, the Wasp.
If I
what
was on
up?
Thanos'
I'm
side,
back.
I feel like I wouldn't wait for them to show up. I just
Yeah.
start running towards the heroes. But yeah, like again, that's like a comic book. It's like everyone shows up.
I know,
yeah.
but they just repeat the end of Infinity
Yeah.
War where they have everyone fighting again.
Well, they did do that frame where
What?
they kind of focus. They're like, look at all the ladies. The ladies
Oh,
of the
that was
Avengers.
weird.
That was
Yeah.
bad. That was
They-
bad.
Especially when like the original female Avenger, you kill her off and you like don't mention it at all.
Yeah.
It felt very.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Also-
Speaking- Captain Marvel inclusion.
This is what I was gonna
was
say.
just.
No.
I don't.
How
Yeah.
convenient of the movie to come out so she can be in
I don't
the-
hate. I don't hate Brie Larson. Like, if you've seen Room, go see Room. If you
Yeah,
haven't seen
she's a
Room.
fine
But like,
actress.
they don't know what to do with her character. Is she like stoic?
She's
Is
Goku.
Is she like?
She's too
Yeah.
powerful.
She's too powerful. But like, is she like charismatic? Is she stoic? Does she act like a robot? I don't know
Bad
how she
haircut,
acts.
too.
So like, they
Oh,
don't
well,
know
she
what to
had
do.
to get the haircut because she's powerful. So.
That's
the-
true,
the
yeah.
She
haircut
has
was
to
like-
look
yeah,
masculine.
the haircut
But
was a
it was kind of the thing where it's just like we gotta hold them off for a whole day so Captain Marvel can come back.
Yeah.
That's true, because then she, yeah, because like after what they kill Thanos the first time.
Yeah, and Spider-Man has
she
like
goes,
yeah.
I
I'm
got
in
other
space.
planets to go
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Captain
See
Marvel
ya.
went to her home planet and
Yeah.
was never seen again. yeah. All right, that's the end of Endgame and the movie show for now. So let's give our ratings. I'll start with Jacob so I can think of.
Let's
Yeah,
just go
I
this
guess. I think for right now, I think a 9's too high, but I think an 8 is too low. But I'm just gonna say an 8 because I gotta see it again because it is long. There's a lot of stuff.
3 hours.
But again, like I liked most of it. It's just like not all the plot stuff works. So I'm gonna say 8. You didn't see it.
TBD.
Fair enough. I'll say 6.
That's hard
It
for
was,
you.
yeah, I know. It was enjoyable.
Okay.
It didn't feel like 3 hours. so.
I'll give it. I'll get a 6 out of 10.
Time travel was bad.
You saved the Mets though.
Yeah.
So congratulations, good job, guys. The whole
That
Mets-
was the director who said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
the Mets disappeared. The whole Mets team was snapped
they-
out of
Yeah,
existence.
they make
Why?
Sure, they make sure to say it
And
because
then
it's
they-
New York.
Yeah. every writer's from
my
New York,
team.
basically. So, and that's the end of the movie show. That's all we have for today. So, from everyone here at the Oneonta Movie Show, we'd like to wish you luck all on your finals and have a great summer. Thanks for watching.